The business applications keep the same basic workflow, so a customer does not have to learn a completely different product. They can still use normal PLY, Splat, and SOG files. Business adds the formats and project structure needed when one large file is no longer practical. The two main business routes are native LCC2 folders from the XGRIDS ecosystem and the web-ready packages created from standard PLY files. Both routes preserve a folder of data that can load progressively. This is different from forcing the browser to hold one enormous standard file in memory at once. I'll show the two routes separately because they solve related problems, but they do not start from the same source. For an LCC2 project, the customer imports the complete scan folder, not only the small LCC2 file inside it. The folder contains the different levels of detail and the data chunks needed by the viewer. The scans should be cleaned before this step. They also need enough real geometry in common for a reliable alignment. In the current workflow, I use at least 3 corresponding points between overlapping captures. Each LCC2 scan remains a separate layer. I can align several walks without converting them into one huge replacement file. This is non-destructive. The alignment is stored as transforms, while the original folders stayed separate. Some LCC2 packages also contain optional environment data. This is the distant background around the main scan. In business, it can be switched on or off independently for each scan. That is useful when several captures contain background data that overlaps or distracts from the main area. When the alignment is ready, I save the editable project and export an alignment set. The alignment set is a small file that records how all the scan folders fit together. In Splat Business, I select the source folders and apply that alignment set. I can open the scans as separate timeline stages or as one combined stage when several walks form one larger site. As a stress test, I loaded and navigated through 21 public XGRIDS LCC2 samples inside one Splat stage. They showed that the software can manage well beyond a simple 2 or 3 scan example on suitable hardware. It is a stress test, not a recommended project size or a universal promise. The real limit depends on scan size, available memory, the graphics processor, and the structure of the source data. For a proper alignment, the captures still need genuine overlap. The second business route is for customers whose source is a large standard PLY Gaussian Splat, rather than LCC2. Splat Aligner Business can convert that PLY into a web-ready package. The conversion runs locally in the desktop application. The result is a folder that the business tools can load progressively instead of treating the entire scene as one very large browser file. After conversion, the workflow is familiar. I import the complete web-ready package folder, align it with other compatible scans, and save the project or an alignment set. Splat Business can use a web-ready package as a stage or combine aligned packages when they form a larger scene. The exported browser tour keeps that package structure so the viewer can request the data it needs. This does not automatically make every device capable of displaying any project. Very large scenes still depend on the viewer's hardware and memory. The advantage is that the data can arrive progressively, which is generally much more practical for large web delivery than one monolithic file. LCC2 users do not need to convert their scans to web-ready packages. LCC2 already has its own native progressive structure. Web-ready is mainly the route for large PLY sources.